Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back doing another case in Elite Mode. I just got through with case number 19 in the World Edition. And as you can tell, I'm in Pacific Bay again. As you can see, I have 11 Elite Mode rings. Now I'm going to make it 12 because this is the one I'm going to do. Case 16 in Inner City. First of all, I didn't even replenish my energy. There we are. Let's go. Hello, Matthew. I came by the station to say bye. I'm going back home for a few days. It's my big brother's birthday, so we're all gathering at my parents' home. I haven't seen him in ages. I'll have so much to tell him. I'll tell him all about you. Anyway, I need to go. My train is leaving soon from Grand Central Station. It's the oldest train station in Pacific Bay, you know. Oh, you want to accompany me to the station? Thanks, Matthew. That's really kind of you. We should get there early, so you'll have time to look around. You'll see Grand Central Station is breathtakingly beautiful. I just hope this time we won't stumble on a dead body. Haha. Oh boy. Ah. That kind of ruined things a little bit. I knew I should have never made that joke about stumbling on a corpse. That poor man, what a horrible way to die. Tied to a clock to hear your last seconds tick away. I guess you're right, Matthew. At least this macabre staging is giving us an important clue. The time of death. The clock clearly broke at 11:05 p.m. And you know, the victim's face looks vaguely familiar. Like I've seen him in a newspaper or something. A newspaper, that's it. Matthew, that man is Vito Piani. He's the editor-in-chief of the Daily Dawn newspaper. This is huge. This case is going to be big, and there's no way I'll leave you in the lurch, Matthew. I'm staying to help you investigate. At least I know my brother will understand. He knows that duty always comes first. Anyway, let's have a look at the clues you've already found. The newspaper rack. Good idea. Whoever did this might have some grudge against the media. Let's search through it. And I'm sure the broken electrical device you found will tell us something. As soon as you're done piecing it back together, let me just get rid of my luggage. And that's level 292. If I can get this thing to work. If I can get this thing to quit doing this. Anyway, I'm going to grab some stars now, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, let's get the... Okay, I got up to 6 stars. So let's examine the newspaper rack. Newspaper article. Oh, you found yesterday's edition of the Daily Dawn in the newspaper rack. What's on the front page? The interview was about immigrants. That sounds familiar. Hey, you're right. We know the woman in the photo. It's Aisha Ben Malik, the immigration officer we met while investigating the murder of Ling Zhang. So Aisha made the front page of our victim's newspaper yesterday, and Vito Pioni did the interview. I agree, we better go talk to her about this. About her interview with the victim? If it isn't Pacific-based finest, are you here to defend illegal immigrants again? Because I really don't have time. It's always a pleasure, Miss Ben Malik. Sheriff Matthew is actually investigating the murder of Vito Pioni, editor of the Daily Dawn. We found this article. What? Vito's dead? What terrible news. He was a good man. Civic-minded, honorable, strong, manly shoulders. We were on the same page about the immigrants infesting this city, refusing to integrate, refusing to change. Don't you think his paper exaggerates a little? Yesterday's edition claims that you said the illegal immigrants are responsible for climate change. Well, I must have said it. Vito would never lie about anything. His papers are the only ones telling the truth about immigration. He was perfect. Okay, broken electrical device. There we are. Well done, Matthew. So that broken electrical device you found at the crime scene is actually a GPS system. You're right, it was broken at exactly 11:05 p.m., the time of the murder. So this means this GPS must belong to the killer. And it's indicating Little Italy as their starting point. We better go investigate there. I agree. Oh, but of course, while we investigate Little Italy, Hannah can work on the GPS to get more information out of it. I'll get it to the lab. Okay, 6 hours. And investigate Little Italy. Phone. Funeral wreath. There we are. I feel like I'm on a Roman holiday. If we weren't hunting for a cold-blooded murderer, I could sit in a cafe all day here. Maybe just one little biscotti. You're right, Matthew. I should keep my eyes on the job and off the Italian treats. Thank God one of us stays professional. Those clues you dug up are definitely connected to the victim. The mobile phone's background shows the Daily Dawn logo. It's locked, but I'm sure it won't be a problem for you. You think that briefcase could be the victim's as well? Oh, I see. It has his initials embossed on it. VP for Vito Pioni. Let's have a look inside. I'm going to get some stars first, so hold on. Okay, I got myself up to 10 stars to examine the locked phone. Perfect. 17 more energy coming. I wish I had your skills, Matthew. You set the bar pretty high on locking the victim's phone so fast. Great job. I'll get this phone to Hannah for you. She'll have it analyzed in no time at all. Uh-oh. 18 hours. Moment, folks. Okay, now I got that problem fixed. Oh, man. What is that picture you found in Vito's briefcase, Matthew? It's all yellow. It must be pretty old. I really have no idea why it's doing this, and it shouldn't be. You're right, the photo clearly shows our victim, but who is the other man on the picture? Oh, good idea, Matthew. We should compare this picture with our police files, see if this man has a record. Moment again, folks. Okay, got that. Now it's back to normal. Aha. This one's easy. A new suspect. Nicely done, Matthew. So the man standing with Vito in that photograph is Eddie Moretti. According to his police file, Mr. Moretti used to be the head of the mafia in Little Italy until Chief Marquez shut down the whole operation a few years ago. You're right. Why was our victim associating with the mafia? We better go have a talk with Mr. Moretti. About his ties to the victim? It's an honor to meet you, Sheriff Matthew. The police's tireless work keeps our streets safe for our women and children. I have much respect. Mr. Moretti, we found an old photograph of you and the late Mr. Vito Pioni together. What was your relationship with the victim? Ah, Vito. We grew up together on the streets of Little Italy. He was my blood brother, my familia. It pains me to see him end in such a disrespectful manner. So Vito Pioni was close friends with a mafia boss? Mafia? You paid me, child. Have I not been accommodating? There's no more mafia in Little Italy. I am a humble businessman. Forgive me, what kind of business are you in? Just business. Ah, Senora, none of yours, and it was none of Vito's either. Hate it that it does this. But anyway, it's all done, and I'll see you guys for when that happens. For when all these three run their courses. Alright folks, here's Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of the GPS.
We have to figure out who.
Your victim's mobile phone was filled with dirt on pretty much everyone in town, Matthew. He also seems to have been addicted to that game with all the sweets. Who knew? Anyway, the last thing Vito did was write a memo to himself. Call HR. Have employee N09836 fired. No one talks to me like that. The thing is, I know that employee number.
No way the touch DNA came back that fast.
It belongs to my girlfriend, Heather. Vito wanted to fire your girlfriend? I guess so. She writes the fashion column at the Daily Dawn, and I really don't know why Vito would want to fire her. She loves that job.
It's good news, Teresa.
We better have a talk with Heather about this. Thank you, Hannah. Wait, what? You're not seriously going to suspect Heather, are you? She's my girlfriend. She couldn't have done this. I understand you're upset, Hannah, but Matthew has to follow up every lead. This is no time to bend the rules. And how many times have I broken the rules to help solve a case? Fine, go. Talk to Heather. You won't find out anything. She's as innocent as any of us.
He wasn't cheating, though.
This job makes you think there was a victim to save. But with Tommy, you got over-involved.
He told me. He was a mess. What was I supposed to do?
You and Teresa kept telling me I could do better.
Oh, well, actually, it looks like I got the other one first.
But they're crazy.
Actually, I got results of the phone by mistake. Great to see you again, Sheriff Matthew, but I'm a bit confused. Why have you brought me here? We need to ask you about Vito Pioni. He's been murdered, and one of the last things he did was to remind himself to have you fired. He was going to fire me? All I did was talk to him. He was such a sleaze. Made my skin crawl. What were you talking to Vito about? He was going to publish a story about Hannah, all about how she's a computer hacking former anarchist turned lesbian police officer. You know, quality journalism. I went to him and begged him to reconsider this, but he refused. Inner City is a better place without that scum publishing trash about everyone. Now the GPS. Matthew, that GPS system you brought me was pretty beat up, but I think the info I gathered will please you. As you noticed, the GPS had recorded the last trip the killer took from Little Italy to Grand Central Station. I analyzed the speed of this vehicle, the usual routes taken, trying to figure out what kind of car the killer drove, but something wasn't right. Then I got it. The killer wasn't driving a car at all. They were driving a scooter. Good luck, Matthew. Chasing down a killer on a scooter sure as hell won't be easy as pizza pie. And I'm going to speed this up. Well, Matthew, I'll tell you one thing. This guy definitely missed his train. I mean, I've heard of clocking off, but this is ridiculous. Oh, Roxy, please don't. I'm not going to be able to check my watch again without feeling queasy. Okay. So someone really had it out for Vito Peony. He was tied to the cloak with a rope around his neck at 11 p.m. The rope was then tied to the hands of the clock, and as the minutes ticked by, the rope got tighter and tighter around his neck, strangling him to death. So the clock really is the murder weapon? What twisted mind could come up with this? Meh, I've dreamt up worse, but I also found some oil on Vito's neck. Not just any oil, it's pasta oil from lasagna slices. It was all over the rope, too. That means the killer ate lasagna before they killed Peony. I'll make a note of it, Matthew. Well, my brother just messaged me. He's not mad, and he'll even send me some cookies by the post. I'm a little sad not to go home, but I'm really happy I was able to stay here to assist you in this investigation, Matthew. So what do we know? Whoever killed Vito Peony is a big fan of lasagna, and they also drive a scooter. That Aisha Ben Malik continues to be a real pleasure to talk to. I wonder what her problem is. Maybe she just needs some love. Then there's Eddie Moretti, the victim's old friend who used to rule over Little Italy as a mafia boss. Vito had interesting relations. And Hannah's girlfriend Heather is somehow mixed in all of this, since our victim was planning to fire her from his newspaper before he died. Sheriff Matthew, there you are. Drop everything. There's a new top priority. Chief, what's going on? Hannah's disappeared. She's taken her laptop, her Battlestar War figurines, and her cigarettes. She's gone. Oh boy.
Get 50 meg internet for $29.99 per month.
Well, that's it. We'll sort this out in Chapter 2. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's start Chapter 2 of Killing Time in Elite Mode. Sheriff Matthew, your investigation will have to wait. We've got a new priority. Hannah has taken all her equipment and left the station. Oh dear, but why would she do that? Has she quit the police because her girlfriend is a suspect? You're right, Matthew. Maybe she's gone to solve the case herself. She was really angry to hear Heather was going to be interrogated. Actually, my worry is that Hannah might have taken it upon herself to do something about inner chaos. I know she was taking Fredo's return personally. Sheriff Matthew, I'm officially asking you to put your investigation on standby. Go to the Inner Chaos's headquarters and try to find what Hannah is up to.
Once we finished with our meeting, I walked Tommy to the door, and he said that he could tell that I had had a long day. And I looked at him, and I nodded, and he asked if I wanted a massage, and then he started working my shoulders, and then he started kissing me, and I told him it was not a good idea, but he was aggressive.
Okay, well, did you say no, or try to tell him to stop?
You have SVU on in the background, so don't mind that.
He didn't rape me, detective, and I certainly didn't rape him. He came on strong and didn't feel terrible, and I let myself enjoy the feeling.
And by it, you mean?
Oral sex and intercourse. I'm going on the 5th anniversary of my divorce, and it felt good to be wanted.
And Tommy Sullivan made you feel wanted.
In that moment, very much so, yes.
I think we've humiliated Officer Marshall, and now she's facing interdepartmental discipline. But we are done here.
Oh, we're just trying to get your client's side of the story.
It's okay, Kinsler.
Okay. So you said that Tommy initiated the contact, made you feel wanted. Were you aware that he put in 3 requests?
Well, Hannah isn't here. Actually, nobody is. I'm kind of glad about it, Matthew. This place really creeps me out.
Really?
But as always, you kept your cool and found some clues, like this check for $1,000 from Fredo Mancini, the leader of Inner Chaos. $1,000 is a hefty sum of money. Who could he write such a check to, Matthew? The recipient is illegible, but I'm sure you'll be able to decipher it. As for that torn photograph, whoever tore it up is hiding something. But they haven't counted on your skills. Oh my God! And you did find something of Hannah's. The symbol from her necklace is drawn on that notebook. This notebook could tell us where Hannah's gone, but she tore the last page off. I'll get the dusting kit.
Actually, I do. Yes.
Alright, we came seriously. Hey, yo, George.
Gonna grab some stars first, so I'll be back.
Detective that Tommy Sullivan was trying to get his
Okay, I got myself up to 19 stars. Let's examine the check.
Your sister by telling you that he'd been raped. No, actually, he wasn't even aware that a woman could rape a man. Oh, that's right. In fact, he only used the word rape after he talked to your supervisor, Sergeant Benson, and Detective Amaro. He did this.
There we go.
After you asked them to talk to him. I mean, Mr. Sullivan didn't think he'd been raped at all.
What you've deciphered on Fredo's check isn't a name, but a number, so we still don't know who that check was for. And with Hannah gone, I really hope someone back at the station will be able to figure out who this number refers to.
Officer Marshall said I had to give a urine test in front of her, so I unzipped my pants and did what she
Okay,
asked.
18 hours.
Then she told me to lie on my back, and when I hesitated, she pointed her gun at me. After that, I did whatever she said.
What happened next, Mr. Sullivan?
She handcuffed one of my wrists to the leg of her desk, and then she rubbed me, put her mouth on me.
I have to ask you to be very specific here. Where did she put her mouth?
She put her mouth on my penis.
The photo you found is from a protest, and the sign in the middle says "Smash the Media." Whoever is holding it clearly hates the newspapers.
And then she was on top of me.
Someone who hates the media this much would have had a pretty solid reason to hurt the biggest media man in town. You're right, let's get this to the lab and see if someone can figure out who's the man on the picture.
I mean, I was completely powerless. I felt angry, terrified. I was worried about my fiancé, worried that if I didn't go along with it, Officer Marshall could send me back to jail or shoot me right there. You gotta understand, POs have complete control.
Thank you.
30 hours.
So it's your contention that while handcuffed with a gun to your head, all of this against your will, you were able to perform sexually?
Yes, but I did not want to.
But did you fight back? Did you scream?
Yay, you've managed to retrieve what Hannah wrote on her notebook, Matthew.
I mean, did she have a gun?
And look, she wrote, Heather is innocent. Hannah did leave because Heather is a suspect.
Your own testimony,
What else does she write? New lead pasta restaurant, Little Italy. Looks like she's trying to catch the killer too. I agree, Matthew. Time to go back to Little Italy.
Who knows what she would have done? I only had 3 months probation left.
Until you got arrested for oxycodone.
No, that wasn't mine. Officer Marshall planted it.
Well, there are 2 possible scenarios here. Scenario 1. A dedicated parole officer forces you to have sex with her at gunpoint in her office. And then the next day, she went to your apartment with 3 other parole officers and planted drugs. Or scenario 2, you go out drinking, you violate your parole, you get arrested for fighting. That same dedicated parole officer follows up with a search
Soccer ball,
and discovers drugs.
cookbook. Alright.
At which point, you cry rape.
Objection, are we on cremations?
That oxy was not mine.
It belonged to your fiancé.
That's not what I meant.
Not what you meant, not what you wanted. I fault. You just all tied up in knots, aren't you? Objection. Withdrawn.
You may step down, Mr. Sullivan. Take a short recess.
Okay.
sorry, Mr. Marvin. That guy kept twisting everything around.
You did fine.
Matthew, you really outdid yourself finding all those clues. This sketch pad you found, you're right, the drawings look exactly like our murder scene. Which means this sketch pad belongs to Vito's killer. It's covered in brown stains. Do you think you could collect a sample of it? And what about this cute card? It's so sad to see it all torn up, but I'm sure you'll piece it back up in a flash. Holy moly, that cookbook you found was written by Eddie Moretti. Times must really be tough for the ex-mafia boss, but what does the faded note on the front say, Matthew? Well, that's what we're going to find out, Amy.
Damn. What? I had that feeling we'll probably get him outside. What, you just let this guy go?
He wasn't under arrest, Detective.
He was a material witness.
Well, now he's immaterial. What do you want from me?
Find him.
Oh, okay. I'll get right on that. If he comes back into this building, I'll let you know.
Aw, the card you restored was a love message. Vito, every minute we are apart, I die a little. Why won't you call? Love, your little Aisha. Aisha was in love with Vito Peony. Who would have guessed she had a heart? Sorry, Matthew, it's a dreadful thing to say. But you're right, we need to go talk to Aisha again. About her relationship with the victim? Aisha, Sheriff Matthew found the card you sent to Vito Peony and... Okay, I admit it. I was in love with Vito Peony. Love. Big bad Aisha was in love. Aisha, please calm down. We just want to ask some questions. It started out as a casual thing. Vito approached me about the immigration problem. He wanted to do a series of interviews with me. He was so great, you know, and it was nice not to have to be tough for once. I invited him to dinner, made him lasagna. Then we were supposed to go away on vacation. I waited at the station for hours under the clock, but Vito never showed up. I drove my scooter to his house, and there, he told me he didn't love me, that he didn't even care about immigration, that it was just to sell papers. I'm really sorry, Miss Ben Malik. Don't be. Now that he's dead, I don't have to remember the bad times.
Big, unhappy world out there, exploring in a Subaru Crosstrek.
Cookbook now. So Moretti wrote a note to Vito in his cookbook. Look what you've reduced me to. He sounds pretty angry. Oh, you're so clever, Matthew. If Moretti has written a cookbook on Italian recipes, he must eat lasagna. I'll add this to his profile. And you're right. Now we better grab another chat with him. Seems Moretti and Vito weren't so friendly anymore.
Lobster dishes of the year, like new dueling lobster tails, with one tail stuffed with crab and the other with Langostino lobster mac and cheese. It's a party on a plate.
Why he was angry at Peony?
Every bite of lobster lover's dream lives up to its name.
Ah, Sheriff Matthew, I see you've read my book. Do you like it?
So stop dreaming.
Sheriff Matthew's more interested in the note on the front of the book, Mr. Moretti. What had Peony done to you? Done? You asked me what he has done? Everything! He has taken food from my mouth, the shirt off my back, the blood from my veins. Goodness, that's a little melodramatic, don't you think? I have to drive a scooter. Me, who used to have a limousine. You think I like writing cookbooks? I had to sell my mother's recipes because Vito stole my life. He knew all my associates and he sold them to your police force. He's the reason the Italian mafia is no more. And why? So he could have more power by making friends with the police? I have waited many years for him to die. He betrayed his friends and now the past has caught up with him.
All-star detective Olivia Benson as she tackles her toughest cases.
You gotta check this out.
The Law
Sketchpad now.
continues next on USA.
After an exhaustive all-night search, we were unable to locate Jordan Balfour. I need to request a continuance.
You're not able to proceed without him?
His testimony is essential for establishing Tommy Sullivan was not dealing drugs. Well, then we should have kept better tabs on him.
There we are, 16.
Motion for continuance.
Great job at collecting that dark liquid from the killer's sketch pad, Matthew. I'll get it to Yann straight away.
Is the prosecution office?
Yes. Your Honor.
Well, then we'll call our first witness.
12 hours.
Excuse me?
What is going on here, Mr. D'Angelo?
Mr. Dolphy came to us after a sleepless night.
All right.
He told me that
I'm going to get the remaining stars, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the recipient number. Since Hannah so rudely left us, I've been asked to take care of analyzing that check number for you, Matthew. Computers are fine for nerds like Hannah, but real crime experts need to be used more sophisticated analysis. So I asked myself, who would Fredo be writing a check to?
Sponsored by.
Then I tried to determine which kind of person might use a number instead of a name. Then I called the bank and flirted with the cashier until she told me who the number corresponded to. Matthew, the number on the check corresponds to one of the bank accounts of Vito Peony. Matthew's right. Hannah's job isn't so easy after all, but now we know Fredo Mancini knew the victim. Let's go have a chat with him.
Contractor's choice. Experts say
Got his check to Peony.
approximately every 7 years.
Good afternoon, brain-dead slaves of the fascist oligarchy. Can I offer you a slice of lasagna served with a side portion of what the hell do you want?
That helps keep your home cool.
Sir, if you can't be polite, at least be helpful. Why did you write a check to Vito Peony? Ha, that's why you're here? That's just rent. Vito was our landlord. Vito Peony owned Inner Chaos's headquarters? Why would he rent his building to people like you? We have just as much a right to be tenants as anyone. Just as much right to be exploited by the bourgeois as well. $1,000 a month for this dump. Can you believe it? But Vito hated us being here. He kept trying to find a reason to kick us out. He had the traffic cops take away my scooter for being parked outside. Guess you don't have to worry about that anymore.
The tender turkey breast sandwich from the Subway sandwich shop.
Come to Sears for the outfit you want to look and feel your best. Homegrown styles and prints for everyone in the family.
Brown liquid. The dark liquid you collected from the killer's sketch pad was coffee, Matthew. Well, that narrows it down. Everyone drinks coffee here. There are kindergartners in Little Italy who drink coffee. Aha, well this isn't just any kind of coffee. It's espresso. The strongest kind there is. If the memory of their crime doesn't keep your killer up at night, then the espresso certainly does. So the killer drinks espresso. I'll add this to their profile, Matthew.
These men will always be remembered as heroes.
And I'll go ahead and speed up the photo of protest. That's the last time I step into Hannah's shoes. Corpses don't have to be switched on and off a million times to give answers. Corpses are pretty much always off. Did you manage to find the person in the protest photograph? First I had to find the right database. That took hours. Then I had to get the right password. Then the laptop's battery died, so I electrocuted myself. But I ran the picture through the records in the end, and I found the origin of this anti-media protest. It happened outside the Daily Dawn offices a few days ago. The guy holding the banner is Johnny Crossman. He's an old guard anarchist. So this Johnny definitely had something against our victim. We better go talk to him. I agree. Thanks, Roxy.
Both windward and leeward spots. Very little rain for the Big Island and for the entire state. Dry, cool air over the islands, and that will keep those showers.
About us protesting against the media.
I want to share with you this beautiful sunset shot, even with the...
The people united will never be defeated. Mr. Crossman? We're investigating the murder of Vito Peony. You've campaigned against the Daily Dawn recently. Did you have a grudge against them? I have a grudge against a whole lot of them. All media are evil, brutalizing and murdering our society. They should all be strung up. Wouldn't stringing them up also kind of be evil, brutal, and murderous? It's freedom of speech. Anyway, Vito Peony was just a drop in the ocean. Why would anyone want to kill him when there's bigger fish to fry? All the media, the government, even the Pacific Bay Police Force, all need to go in a glorious revolution. Mr. Crossman, maybe you should start the revolution with a strongly worded letter. I find it works well for most problems. Sure.
On the weekend, we may even see a return of...
You're a disgrace to media, man.
Acceptable 5 years.
Matthew, I'm stumped. All our suspects despise the victim, except for Aisha, who adored him. Which is weird because she's, well, Aisha. Then there's the anarchists. Fredo came across as so mean he could have murdered Peony for a reduction in rent. And Johnny looks like he would do anything for the revolution. There's also Mr. Moretti, the mafia boss who Peony betrayed. He sort of reminds me of my grandpa, except for the life of organized crime, that is. I seriously cannot take any more electronics today. Everything's gone haywire. The coffee machine just tried to kill me and my radio keeps changing to country music stations. It's chaos. What are you talking about? Oh, my phone is beeping. Weird. My phone is telling me to call Amy, but I am Amy. What's going on? Guys, you need to come over. Chief Marquez is gathering everyone together. She says someone has released a virus into the city's network. Holy crap. We're going to have to sort this fracas out in Chapter 3. Alright folks, this is Matthew. We are back. We're going to start Killing Time, Chapter 3. Sheriff Matthew, we're in big trouble. A virus is tearing through every electronic device in inner city and nobody knows how to stop it. My digital watch keeps insisting that it's 42 o'clock in 1967. Where's Hannah when you really need her? Matthew, get yourself over to Inner Chaos's headquarters again. Check every corner. I just know those ruffians are responsible for this virus somehow.
Estimate explains everything that needs to be done. We take pride and warranty all of our work, and we have loaner cars available too. Remember, Autotech Service Center, 841-5851. You never know who you might run into.
Got dry with termites? Tackle it the smart way with Akamai Pest Solutions.
Okay.
Pioneers in Hawaii of orange oil treatment. No tenting, no toxic gases, no moving. At Akamai Pest Solutions, we use an organic treatment that kills termites on contact.
I've heard a lot about Akamai and I was so happy that it did make the right decision.
I had to dox someone because I heard he was a hacker.
Satisfied I am with the product and the service.
Think green, treat orange with Akamai Pest Solutions. The smarter way to control pests in paradise since 2003.
Okay, let's see.
Today.
You've upgraded all your old technology, so what about this? It's time to get into the new with Ford. New shows you the world around you. New is best-in-class standard.
Torn paper.
New is tougher, stronger, and lighter. New is Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck, 39 years straight. Get into a new Built Ford Tough F-150 now.
Oh well.
Savings up to $7,050.
That didn't go well. The headquarters are still deserted. Do you really think Inner Chaos released that dreadful electronic virus into town, Matthew? Not to mention both Fredo and Johnny are suspects in Vito Peony's murder. Could the virus be their next step in bringing all media down? Ah, you're right. If they did, this USB stick you picked up will prove it. I'll get it straight to the lab. I just hope the equipment is still working. Well done for digging those documents. It says enemies of the revolution. The ink has faded, but I'm sure you'll be able to find out who those enemies are. As for that torn up paper, before we can deduce anything from it, I'm afraid I'll have to put it back together, Matthew. Yes, I will.
This is the first year schools have treated the New Year's celebration as an official holiday.
Okay, 18 hours. And I'm going to grab some stars first. I'll be back. Alright folks, I got the rest of the stars. I'm up to 20. Let's examine the faded paper.
I've been so confused and look, I finally did call you, didn't I?
Yes, you did, and a darn good thing too.
There we are.
I don't understand is why you didn't just walk away.
Great, you've managed to retrieve the names of the enemies of the revolution. Let's see who's on this list. Oh my god, there's Chief Marquez's name on this list, and even Judge Dante's. And you're right, Vito Peony's name is at the top of the list. Sure thing, Matthew, we need to talk to Fredo again and ask him about this list.
mean, her husband Barney was always off at the West Coast trying to build up her career. He's a star maker with one star.
And she stayed home here with you.
About the list of enemies?
It doesn't sound to me as if she's out of your system.
You guys again? Can't the revolutionary leader plan world domination in peace? You've got some explaining to do, Mr. Mancini. We found your list of enemies, with Vito Peoni's name at the top. Ha! Writing a list of enemies doesn't prove anything. Besides the love for espresso coffee, the only thing I got from my parents was this advice. Know your enemies and you'll know yourself. That's why I wrote a list. But planning something doesn't mean I did it. Besides, if I had murdered that fascist editor-in-chief, I would be holding a press conference right about now. Looks like someone else got there first, though. I'll have to start on the next on your list. Your Chief Marquez, perhaps? As if you could ever touch Chief Marquez when Sheriff Matthews around to protect us all. We will be watching you, Fredo.
All sorts of places.
He's in the running.
Well,
I had company, all right?
Jarrett?
Not Jarrett. He was a career move, you said. Be nice to him, you said.
Well, it wouldn't have been Jarrett. Jarrett had to go to the airport. Pick up Dorothy
Torn
Wesley
paper?
and Jessica Fletcher. Who did you pick up?
I don't know. I've never been good at names.
Sorry.
Get out. Get out!
I'm sorry. We'll leave him alone.
Stupid man. Get away from me.
Look, listen to me. I got your deal. I
Ooh.
First class project. This is not one of those cheap and quick.
The torn up papers you found in the anarchist headquarters are from a police file? You're right, we know the man on the file. It's Johnny Crossman, the anarchist. He didn't have his beard yet, and he looked calmer. And he was arrested for attempting to kill Vito Peoni. Yes, Mouthy, I'll go get the car. We need to talk to Johnny straight away.
Just my luck. Rubber Band Airways will be on schedule for the first time in its history.
Better not be lying to me, Barney.
Why would I lie to you, Betty?
About his attempted murder on Vito Peoni?
For what? I forgot it already.
Mr. Crossman, Sheriff Matthews found that you've been arrested for attempting to kill Vito Peoni. How could you keep this from us? You found that out, eh? Well, yes, I did try to kill Peoni. Him and his media cronies are destroying society with their lies and hatred, so I tried to shoot him. I failed, but you know what? I still spent 10 years in jail for it. How is that justice? I used to sit in my cell watching the clock, drinking the crappy espresso the inmates made, counting down the minutes until I was free. It almost drove me mad. It looks like someone got to him before I could, but I don't care. I'll have some lasagna in honor of whoever did it.
But when it comes to selling newspapers,
Hello, you two.
I'll select the USB stick, run its course, and for now this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the USB stick right now. Ah, Mouthy, since Hannah is still nowhere to be found, I volunteered to take care of this thing you found in the Inner Chaos's headquarters. I have done my research. This is a USB stick, which stands for Universal Serial Bus. Bus as in computers, not as in traffic. Yann, we were actually hoping for you to give us info on the contents of the USB stick. You know, so we could know who unleashed the virus. Ah, well, every time I put the USB in my computer, the screen went bright pink and the keyboard started smoking. I don't know how we can figure this thing out. Perhaps I could help? Hannah, you've come back. It's just so good to see you. Thanks, guys. It's good to be back. Do you mind if we go to my office? I'll feel more comfortable there. I owe you an apology, Matthew. I ran away to go and solve the case. I was angry and thought I could be a great detective and prove Heather's innocence myself. I searched through every trash can at the station, every pizzeria on Little Italy streets, and that rat-infested anarchist headquarters, and I didn't find a single clue. I'm sorry, Matthew. I think I'll stick to computers. I'll never make a police officer. I'll leave that to the experts. But even if I was terrible at electronics, I can still tell you who this USB belongs to. It's mine. It was stolen from my apartment a few nights ago. It contains a virus I made years ago. That's what's messing with the electronics. Give me a second, I should be able to see who used this USB data last. What? But that's impossible. She never do that. Hannah, what's happening? Who used that virus? It's Heather. She's the one who used the USB stick to upload the virus on the city's servers. Oh. Hannah, why don't you try to stop that virus while Sheriff Matthew goes to talk to Heather? We'll straighten all this mess out. You'll see.
The small first precinct to cast and count ballots at midnight.
I just ran into the trumper. He said you killed me.
Ask about the computer virus? Guys, I'm getting really worried. I've been driving on my scooter all day trying to find Hannah. She's back at the station. But Heather, she said you're responsible for unleashing that virus in the servers, that you stole her USB stick. Why did you do that? Oh, I've made a terrible mistake. When Peony told me he wouldn't drop the article about Hannah, I got really upset. I wanted to bring him down, so I stole a computer virus from Hannah and uploaded it to the Daily Dawn network. I thought it would destroy everything and ruin Vito's life. I drank 10 espressos waiting for the virus to work, but nothing happened until today. Now I've ruined things with Hannah. I've stolen from her. I've run the risk of having her blamed for that virus. She'll never forgive me. Can I go now, Sheriff Matthew? I need some comfort food. Heck, I'll have lasagna. It's full of fat, but who cares? Hannah won't look at me ever again anyway.
The Public Utilities Commission to use in approving deals like the proposed NextEra Hawaiian Electric merger. It's all about what the customer gets out of the deals.
Matthew, I still can't believe Heather is responsible for unleashing this virus onto the town's servers. And if she did all this to bring Vito Peony down, could she have gone even further when she realized it hadn't worked? Now let's not forget about Johnny, who spent 10 years in jail for trying to kill our victim. What if he decided to finally commit the crime he'd been locked up for? Oh, it's all too much to handle, Matthew. I'm thinking of baking a cake to cheer myself up. There's a delicious recipe in Moretti's book for tiramisu. Hey, you're right. Moretti has written a recipe for tiramisu, a cake which includes espresso. So Moretti drinks espresso. Matthew, I'm glad to see you. This virus has destroyed the commuter rail network for the city. The only trains that's running are the old diesel engines going out from Grand Central Station. And soon 100,000 commuters are going to be heading that way. Go back to the crime scene and give me more evidence before it's completely destroyed.
You can see some areas of red where things are now stop and go. And as we head out onto the freeway to take a look at one of those accidents, slowing things down, an accident over near the Waimalu area that is causing some backlogs. And as we take a look at the roads, you can see traffic backing up for westbound drivers all the way up to the airport. A little further up the road, you can see it is slow going there.
Station escalator.
Take a look at traffic coming through to the town side of, actually we'll take a look at Moanalua Road. And once again, you can see some of those eastbound drivers slowing down, and again, slow going for those eastbound drivers as they make their way through town. Coming up, I'll have more on your Wednesday weather.
Okay, let's see what is... Oh, I see broken pieces.
Hectic days, that's the price of living in paradise.
Broken security camera.
Performance that matters. Keep your cool with the Mitsubishi air conditioner. No matter how hot it gets, Mitsubishi split ACs are quiet, effective, and energy efficient. Turn it on remotely and return home to
Stained napkin.
comfort. Call your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor today.
It's me, Puka, your favorite pyro. The rainy season is just around the corner, and so am I, ready to bust up your ride. So if you want to roll,
Okay.
giving you grief, come to Lex Brody's for relief. Like your family doctor for
Sweet. Another 10 grand.
warranties and legendary customer service will protect you and your money.
Good on you for collecting all those clues before the hordes of commuters arrive, Matthew. Only you could have done it under such pressure. That security camera is in a pretty bad way, but I'm sure you'll be able to fix it with your skills.
First-time parents.
And you think that napkin is suspicious? I know better than to argue. Let's have a closer look at it. Moment, folks. Okay.
And the new 2016 Kia Sedona van for just $228 a month.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Go to Kia.com and see the savings yourself. You can see it at Kia. Love you too.
Sinaloa Tortillas, proud sponsor of KITV4's live streaming.
Waimea will be the place to
Got it. 16.
roll in, along with continued beautiful.
You're a natural with electronics, Matthew. That video surveillance camera looks brand new. Good job. And now that Hannah's back, finding something about the killer on that footage should be no problem. I'll get this camera to the lab.
We will see a very big increase in those waves as this swell arrives north and western shores.
Okay, 18 hours.
High surf warning starting at 6 o'clock tonight.
And napkin.
We are expecting those waves to peak at about 40 to 50 feet for our northern shores. The swell turning a little bit more northerly as the day goes on, but we are expecting those waves to be up throughout our Wednesday. High surf warning heights lasting into Thursday, in fact. Out west, 25 to 30 foot faces, and for some eastern shores late in the day, they could get some of that.
Ew, that napkin was really filthy, but you got a great sample out of it. Yann should have no trouble processing it.
We saw today. We'd have light winds for most of the state, light and variable winds at the northern end of the island chain.
30 hours.
At the southern end of the state, even though we did have those easterly winds.
All right.
Very little in the way of
And I'll let these two run their courses. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the surveillance camera. I'm going to speed everything up. This is a nightmare. Do you know how difficult it is to get data from a camera when all your computers are infected with the virus? But Hannah, I thought you said you're the one who created this virus. Shouldn't you be able to stop it? It's not as easy as that. I created this virus years ago, and I've lost the shutdown key.
He wasn't my boyfriend.
Anyway, calm. I looked at the camera for you. It wasn't exactly pointing in the right direction, but I still managed to isolate one blurry frame showing the killer. The one thing I can tell you is that the killer is wearing an anti-nuclear badge. It was easy to recognize because Heather is wearing the exact same one, but I'm sure it's not her. Of course, Hannah. Well, Matthew, now we know Vito's killer is wearing an anti-nuclear badge. Let's go get them, whoever they are.
Everybody needs hope. He asked a lot of questions about my past. Where I grew up, what my parents were like.
And I'll speed this up. Cost me only 4.
Saying how everybody wants a home to go.
I'm impressed, Matthew. I would have thrown this napkin in the trash can rather than scanned it for evidence. Your instincts are correct, though. This napkin was used by Vito's killer. The food residue consisted entirely of lasagna and espresso. And there was more. Hidden among the food, I managed to find tiny hairs with high amounts of recent keratin, the substance which makes hair grow. It suggests that this hair is cut very frequently. This, combined with the fact it was on the napkin, allows me to confirm that this is mustache hair. So the killer has a mustache? Thank you, Yann. That's just the info we needed to break the case. We've got everything we need, Matthew. We can finally arrest Vito Peoni's killer. So it is not Heather.
Let's find out for sure.
Excuse me, sir.
It's Fredo Mancini.
Chicago police. Do you know
We can arrest this prick. Fredo Mancini, Sheriff Matthews arresting you for the brutal murder of Vito Peoni. On what grounds? You haven't got anything, not one shred of evidence. On the contrary, Sheriff Matthew found your sketch pad filled with designs for the murder. Drawings don't mean... Sheriff Matthew also found your scooter's GPS, proving you were at Grand Central Station at the time of the crime. That could be... And then Sheriff Matthew found your mustache hair at the crime scene. Face it, Fredo, you're guilty. Guilty? Why should I feel guilt for Vito's death? That right-wing pig had it coming. I'm glad I killed him. The Daily Dawn tells more lies than all the politicians, banks, and police officers combined. The revolution had to start with Vito's death. And it's going to stop with it. Thanks to Sheriff Matthew. Fredo Mancini, you're under arrest. Ha! We'll see about that.
Terrified for the new baby. We decided that Michael...
Hey Hannah, you don't normally come to court. What brings you here? Well, it's a special occasion. Wild horses couldn't stop me from seeing Fredo go down. Well done, Matthew, for catching him. You're not the only one. It looks like anyone is here. I just saw the mayor arrive and even Chief Marquez. We should get inside. The trial starts at 11 o'clock. Fredo Mancini, it says here that you're an artist. I'm not an artist. I'm an anarchist, you fascist. It also says here that you've murdered Vito Peone with a train station clock. What about all those people who couldn't get into the city today because the station was closed? Those people are lucky. And why is that? Because they're not in this courtroom. Nobody move or I'll blow you all sky high. Oh snap. Fredo, no! Haha, you fools! All coming here to see my trial. Journalists, police officers, politicians, all my enemies are here. I can kill you all together. Vito Peone was just the bait. I knew you would all gather like flies to see my trial if I killed a newspaper's editor-in-chief. It's time for you to find out what inner chaos really means.
She was pregnant.
Mr. Mancini, please. No idea or belief is worth murder. Shut up. What time is it? It's... Oh my god, it's 11:05. It's time to die then. Enjoy your last seconds, pigs. Tick, tock, tick.
I don't think that he expects to make it out of here alive.
Oh snap. It's all just chaos. Time's up, Fredo. Woo.
We need your address.
I can't believe it. I killed someone. I saw him up there and I just took Amy's gun and shot him. I've become a killer just like him. Shh. Hannah, you're in shock. Fredo wanted to kill us all, but you wanted to save us. And you, Hannah, you took the most difficult decision a person has to face. Unlike Fredo, you didn't care about the people's backgrounds or beliefs. All you saw were lives worth saving. I'm very proud of you. You think? I promise. It will take time to accept this, and maybe a few sessions with Russell will help. And Hannah... Yes? I know you hate hugs, but thanks for saving our lives, kid. Whew! Thank God that's over.
I want to be the one to bring him in, Hank.
You want to be the one to get the confrontation with him. That's not...
Johnny Crossman doesn't drive a scooter. Aisha Ben Malik cleared early. Heather Valentine, she almost made the cut. Until it was revealed that the killer has a mustache. Eddie Moretti, no badge. It was Fredo Mancini. So I'll see you guys for the additional investigation. Alright folks, there's Matthew. We are back, and we're going to start the additional investigation of Killing Time in Elite Mode. Sheriff Matthew, I guess you'll agree with me on this one. I would like Hannah to take some days off. Believe me, I know what post-shooting trauma feels like, and... Thank you, Chief. I appreciate your concern, but... If you don't mind, I need to sort out one last thing before I can put this behind me for good. Matthew, my virus is still wreaking havoc on the city. We need to stop it, but I think I'm going to need your help. I created that virus back when I was working for Inner Chaos. Chances are, the deactivating code is still somewhere in their headquarters. Will you come with me? Thank you so much, Matthew. I'll be waiting for you outside. We can head to the headquarters whenever you're ready. Is she gone, Matthew? Look, I need your help. Hannah's been through so much. I need to be there for her. Would you help me prepare a romantic dinner for her? Ooh, did I hear the words romantic dinner? Heather, Matthew, can I help? Do you think Eddie Moretti could help Matthew? You're right, maybe he is tied to the mob, but asking him for cooking tips won't put us into trouble. After all, he wrote an entire book about Italian cuisine. He might be able to help us. Let's go talk to him. Let's investigate the hangout first. Alright. Oh. Road case. Ugh. Ah, there you are. Anarchist box. Man, this place is still as messy as ever. You think the answer to our troubles might be in this box, Matthew? Alright, let's dig in then. There we are. A broken floppy disk. See how many people use those today? What did you find in this box, Matthew? Hey, I agree, it looks like a broken floppy disk. How the hell did it get broken like this, though? Arg, those anarchists don't respect anything. Think you can fix it up, Matthew? You're really good, Matthew. The floppy disk looks good as new. I bet all the data's still on it. And hey, now that it's in one piece again, I recognize it. Hack tools. That's the floppy disk on which I worked back in the days. Which means that this floppy disk contains the deactivating key for the virus that's ravaging the city. You're awesome, Matthew. Just give me a few hours and I'll shut this virus down. $18 hours. Alright. And while Hannah's working on that, let's talk to Eddie Moretti. Sheriff Matthew, you want my advice about Italian recipes? Who do you think I am? Just read my book.
Why is he doing this?
But, Mr. Moretti, it's for a very good cause. A friend of us wants to prepare a romantic dinner for... Ah, romance. That changes everything. I'll help. I've got the perfect recipe for you, Matthew. Spaghetti alla Moretti. It's a simple recipe. Fresh pasta, bolognese, and garlic. The most important is the way you cut the garlic. I learned this technique when I was doing time in Greensboro State Prison. My old friend and cellmate, Tony Marconi, used to slice the garlic with a razor blade. It was so thin that it just melted in the sauce. Thank you so much for the recipe, Mr. Moretti. Matthew, I agree. We should find everything we need in Little Italy. Policemen working on romantic dinners is always better for my business. Here, Sheriff Matthew, accept this small contribution for buying the groceries you'll need. Oh, well, thank you very much. 20,000 points.
So start talking. Or tell me where you are.
I knew I could count on you, Detective.
When we first met, you said I reminded you of someone. I'm 5'4". Mad. It's your mother. I remind you of your mother, don't I?
We'll talk about that, but let's begin with the fact that your team went to the wrong place.
Okay. Well, there's the pasta. Boarded window. Ah.
Oh, this came in 30 minutes ago. 30? From where? Everything across.
Bologna sauce.
Get on the radio, call the unit next there and tell her that.
Brass knuckles.
Have you figured out where I am?
Yes.
Skull graffiti.
The answer is yes. You do. Reminds me of my mother. Right before she threw me in the trash.
Not my best score, but hey, I did it. That's perfect, Matthew. You found everything Eddie Moretti has listed for us. Fresh pasta, nice garlic, and premium quality bologna sauce. Thanks to you, Heather should be able to make the perfect dinner for Hannah. Let's go give her the ingredients. And let's help Heather out. This is one of my personal favorite cases, too. Hey Heather, Matthew has got you a nice recipe and the ingredients to cook it. Thanks Matthew, that's terrific. I'm going to cook killer spaghetti for Hannah. I still need to find something else though. Like, I don't know, a trip to someplace for two. Ooh, Matthew, I like your idea. Heather, don't you worry about a thing. We'll go to the station and find the perfect trip for you guys. I happen to be a spaghetti lover myself. In fact, I have it every Tuesday and every other day. Sometimes I'll have it twice in a week, sometimes 3 times, but I haven't had it for a whole week, too. But, anyway, let's wrap this baby up. Oh, fire. There we are. Aha. I don't know why I deviated from that now. Alright. So, Matthew, did you find where Heather and Hannah might go on vacation? A trip to White Peaks? Hey, that's the place where I grew up. Hey, that's the place where I grew up, Matthew. It's a wonderful idea. The mountains are beautiful this time of year. Oh, you're right. I hadn't noticed. There's a random draw to win a trip for 2. Yes, let's scratch the flyer and see if we've won. Aha! Winner. Holy cow, Matthew! I can't believe it! This flyer you grabbed at the train station is a winning one! It means Heather and Hannah will get a trip to White Peaks for free! They'll be so happy! I'd love to win a trip to some fine destination. Go with a nice guy. Sorry, Matthew. Yes, let's tell the good news to Heather. Heather, Matthew got you a free trip for two people to the White Peaks district. You'll be able to take Hannah on vacation. Oh my God, Matthew, I don't even know what to say. This is so kind of you. A trip to the mountains is exactly what Hannah needs right now. I hope it will help her forget all the awful things that have happened lately. Yes, I'm sure the fresh mountain air will do her a world of good. It always worked for me. Thanks again, Matthew. I'm very touched by everything you just did to help Hannah out. It's nice to know she's got a friend to rely on. And here, please accept this. It's to thank you for helping me with the recipe and all the rest. Well, we just gotta worry about the floppy disk, but for now I'm just gonna let it run its course, despite the fact that the new case opens today. But by the time this video will be finished, I will have already completed it. I will have already completed the current case in the World Edition. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the floppy disk. Matthew, thanks to the floppy disk you found, I finally shut down my virus. Thanks so much for helping me. I couldn't have done it without you. But now I have one last favor to ask. There's one last thing I have to do to make sure everything I did in Inner Chaos is behind me. I know I'm asking a lot, but would you be willing to come with me to talk to Johnny Crossman? He was the most influential member after Fredo. He's the only one who can dismantle Inner Chaos. Make sure Inner Chaos is over. You again, Sheriff Matthew. What do you... Hey, I recognize you. You're that Hannah chick Fredo kept talking about. You're the one who shot him. I am, and that's also why I'm here. Johnny, now that Fredo's dead, Inner Chaos needs to be dismantled. This madness needs to end. Ha, you needn't worry. I've got no intentions of keeping Inner Chaos alive. Fredo was a crazy bastard, but without him it's just not the same. Everyone's disbanded. But now I'll need to find something else to fight for. I can't stand not doing anything. Well, Matthew, I guess this is it. Inner Chaos, Fredo, all this is over. And it's all thanks to you. I guess all that's left to do is go back to the station. Would you care for something to eat first? It feels like I haven't eaten in days. I'm famished. Matthew, I really want to thank you again. You've not only helped me shut down the virus that was unleashed on the town, but you've also helped me close the Inner Chaos' chapter of my life for good. Killing Fredo wasn't easy, but at least now I know he will never harm anyone again. And now I think I'll follow the Chief's advice. I need to get away from this for a couple of days. Empty my head a bit. I'll have to find Heather. I'm right here, sweetie. And, well, Matthew helped me prepare a little something for you. I've cooked a romantic dinner, and Matthew got us a free trip to White Peaks. I know you must still be angry with me because of the virus thing, but will you... Of course I forgive you. I can't believe you prepared all this for me. Let's go back home. I can't wait to taste the recipe you cooked. Thanks again for everything, Matthew. Well, Hannah looks much happier already. I don't know what you did, Matthew, but I'm glad you were there for her. Otherwise, I need to talk to you. Please come to my office. I don't like to do that, Sheriff Matthew, but I have to remind you that even though Inner Chaos is taken care of, all our troubles are not yet over. I'm sure you haven't forgotten about the organs that have been mysteriously missing from the latest victims. And of course, the community feud between the Chinese and Russian communities is as strong as ever. No, Matthew, your work in inner city is not done yet. I'm afraid the worst is still to come, but I'm glad I can count on you to face it all. And that will do for this case. A third place ranking. That's good enough for me. So for now, I'm going to return to this. I'm going to return to the World Edition now. So for now, this is Matthew. See you again.